I've told you before that I use the wall chart of history, sometimes at least, when I'm meditating and praying. And let me give you an example of how I use it. Here we are looking at the beginning of recorded time, the beginning of that period of human history where we have artifacts and pretty soon even writing so that we can tell what was going on among people during that period of time. So look at what it says, 4,000 hunters of North America. Nomads, moving from place to place in search of food, hunt animals and gather wild plants. They use spears and arrowheads made from flint. They also know how to use fire. Now, I just think about this, and I think about these early human beings who at this point didn't even know how to write, didn't know how to do practically anything that we recognize as civilized human life now. What was God's involvement in these people's lives? I believe that God was there stirring within them a desire and the thoughts about a better life. And so when it says, for example, they know how to use fire, when and how did these early peoples begin to understand that they could touch fire, they could use fire without hurting themselves, and what to use it for? I believe the idea was planted in their heads again and again and again by a God who was trying to coax them forward to a better way of life. Look at what it says then just to the right of that, 3,000 to 2,500 years before the time of Christ, crop growers of South America. In South and Central America, Indians discover how to grow crops, including beans and maize, and raise animals for food. People now start to lead settled lives and build towns and villages. Just the idea that you could settle down, you could stop chasing the animals around and stop just gathering up wild berries and fruits and things that grew on their own. The thought that you could do these things yourself, you could grow your own plants, you could domesticate animals and pen them in and have them available so you don't chase them all around. I believe that these thoughts, although it took a very long time for them to catch on, these thoughts were inspired by a God who was trying to move them forward to a better way of life. And so when I am praying, and I've got this wall chart in front of me, I'm thinking about a God who was there, even though this isn't recorded in our scriptures, because it's not part of the salvation history that the scriptures tell us about. Still, I believe God was there. God was active in those people's lives trying to move them forward to a better life. And it aids me in remembering that even though our story is not recorded in the scriptures, still our story is also just like that, a part of God's story. God is trying to lure us forward even now.